Welcome to Songwriters from Here and Away. This is a show that focuses on new and established songwriters from Atlantic Canada, across Canada, and around the world. Hello, my name's Robert Campbell, and I'm the host of Songwriters from Here and Away. I recently had the opportunity to sit with Dave, a friend of a friend. We were here in my studio in Dartmouth, where we talked about why Dave just drove from a Vancouver area through to Newfoundland and is on his way back. Dave has a journey, a story, and I hope that you'll find it worth listening to. So here we go. Your last name, Daoust?
Yeah. The Frenchman will say Daoust.
Ah.
And it'll change. It morphs.
There you go.
It starts as Daoust. Then by the time you get to Saskatchewan, it's Dow. And then by the time you get to BC, it's Daoust. So I answer to them all or none.
Well, okay, great. Welcome to Songwriters from Here and Away, Mr. Dave Daoust.
Sure.
Mr. Daoust?
Daoust.
It's great. I love this. It's a French name, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Is there a translation for it?
No. I have relatives who might be able to answer that question, but I can't.
Yeah. I like that idea that you've been traveling. You live in British Columbia, in White Rock or area.
I am just across the border from White Rock, so I get to enjoy White Rock, but not pay the taxes.
Ah, good. Okay. Yeah. So you're Dave Daoust in BC.
Yeah, right.
By the time you get here, you're Dave Daoust.
Yeah, and by the time I get to Newfoundland, I'm like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah. So you're going across the country. You've been from Vancouver to Newfoundland, and now you're working your way back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Working my way back to you, babe.
And you're hooking up with songwriters all over the place, eh?
Yeah. More so on the East Coast, and probably more writing on the way back.
Right.
There's a lot of family. Like I just didn't realize how much family that I kind of had to connect with. So I ended up connecting with a ton of cousins and whatnot that I'd never met.
Nice.
Yeah, Saskatoon was an amazing experience for cousins.
Good.
Yeah,
lots of long-time family that you hadn't really connected with or whatever.
I'd never met
Right.
some of them, and they're direct cousins. So,
wow.
And some of them really know the family history well. Like I'm getting emails from one of them. It's telling me stories of people from the 1800s and before.
Do you want to share why you're doing the journey?
Yes.
Why? That's a deep question, I know. But share what you'd like to.
Yeah, I'll tell you. On December 8th, 2022, I was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. Any of you know what a PSA level is? My PSA was 4,070.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think that means you're supposed to be dead or something.
Yeah, something
I'm not sure.
And it came out of the blue with no real heavy warnings.
It was COVID, and I was trying to get I remember walking into a clinic and trying to get a PSA test, and they're like, "Oh, we don't do them here." And I'm like, "I know, but can I just..." No, I kept getting rebuffed, and it was just odd. It was an odd time, COVID and everything. And anyway, with the dawn of the internet, we can diagnose ourselves, which is probably a mistake that I made.
Good and bad, yeah.
Yeah, so I've hummed and hawed around naturopaths and everybody and trying to figure out what was going on with me. And I knew I needed a PSA test, but maybe somewhere subconsciously I didn't want to get one because maybe it would be true. And anyway, I got the PSA test on December 8th, 4,070. Of course, you're in shock, right? You don't I've been a healthy, hardworking man. At the time I was 60. I'm still 60. Actually, no, I'm 61. It was my birthday just a couple days ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I kind of forgot about that. That's what happens when you get older.
Yeah,
Birthdays just come and go. Anyway, well, for the first while, I was just in shock. And then I'm starting learning to learn new words now. I went to an oncologist. I'd heard the word, but I didn't know exactly what they did.
It intimately.
Now, I know what an oncologist. So first of all, I went to a urologist, and he says, some people make it, some people don't. Like, okay, I'm not sure what that means, but sure. So then I had an appointment with the oncologist at BC Cancer Agency, and she said, there's nothing we can do for you. You've got 2 to 3 years to live, and we're just going to give you this medication to just kind of tide you over. So I got to tell you, the first thing that I thought was, no, it ain't going down like that.
Right.
So my wife and I got on the old World Wide Web and started studying, and so I'm taking every supplement under the sun.
Right, yep.
This morning I probably took 15, 20 pills before I even got here. So, yeah, lost 40 pounds. Normally I run around at about 175, 170. I was down to 130 pounds. Flat on my back for a while.
Well, you're looking a lot more than 130 pounds right now.
I haven't actually weighed myself for a while, but I'm guessing about I'm 145 or 150 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Anyway, yeah. So a couple of things. My doctor is like, he's getting on. He's not old by any stretch of the imagination, but you can tell he's near the end of the line. So he's not a real cutting edge type guy. You know what I mean? And I don't blame him. Hey. But anyway, I started listening to some more cutting edge type doctors on YouTube. Right. YouTube, you could do anything. You can fix I fixed my furnace from YouTube. Yeah. So maybe I can fix myself at the cellular level also.
Yeah.
But anyway, they suggested exercise, but my doctor said, go for a walk. These guys are like, go hard.
Right.
And so I can't say I'm going super hard, but I'm going.
You're working out.
I'm working out fairly vigorously,
Yep.
And it's showed a lot of improvement.
Good.
The cancer is metastatic, another new word for me. Anyway, it's in my, hips, pelvis, backbone. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but in the back, the rib cage, shoulders, and a little bit in the elbows. So, but I'm not in pain. Generally, I'm not in pain. So the good news is that it's not in my organs.
Right.
This is the good news. Yep. As I sit here right now, maybe a little in the rib cage, And of course, when I was working, I was like, well, that's just working man's pains.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a time when I couldn't lift my shoulder. I can lift my shoulders now. I can move them above my head.
Right.
And
so it's just a matter of sticking with it and seeing where it goes, I guess, at this point,
Since that time, I've talked to a lot of people, and they said, you know what, Dave, they told me 10 years ago I was going to die, and here I am, and I'm fine. So I hear that story a fair bit.
Right.
So, yeah.
So
just one day at a time, right? Just one foot in front of the other, and every day is a new day. And I'm so grateful and blessed to be alive. And
I'm really glad you're sharing this, because it's my belief that we all need to wake up that in the morning and realize we should be grateful to be alive.
Yeah.
And without the weight of what you have, holding that up, right? And find ways to express ourselves however we can. And I've been following your journey on Facebook a little bit, and I've seen you posting and going through storms and heat waves and sharing some music, and you've got great music. I've known we have many mutual co-writers.
Sure.
And I like your tunes.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. And you're writing a little bit, so you're going to write on the way back. Have you got any song that you'd like to share today?
I can share one I wrote with Paul DeMarco and Lucy LeBlanc, who you know both.
Yep.
It's one that I kind of found out when you know how songs just brew. They're just brewing. That's how I am. This event happens, and this event happens, and then it just comes out some kind of anyway.
Right.
My strongest point would probably be my lyrics. I'm an idea guy, and I'm always looking for a different way, different angles, and all that sort of stuff. So the cancer has made me write deeper and more emotional than I would have generally. I still don't want to write boy meets girl and the back of the car and all those things. I don't care about writing that sort of stuff, and haven't for a long time. But so I think the lyrics now are just a little deeper, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Which would kind of make sense, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that's valid and good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a song. Stubborn. I don't know about you, but every time I hit an E chord, I want to play a Johnny Cash song.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, this one's called That's My Soul, written with Paul DeMarco and Lucy LeBlanc. Lately I've been needing someone to talk to, and it can't be just anyone. I don't know what needs saying till I say it, but the words are starting to come, and I don't want to fight this thing alone. That's my soul, that's my soul. Won't you help me to catch it before it goes? That's my soul, that's my soul. And I need it now more than ever before. So don't let it fall, don't let it fall down this black hole. That's my soul, that's my soul. Won't you give me something to believe in? 'Cause I feel like I'm losing myself. I've always been good under fire, but lately I've been going through hell. And I need a deeper kind of help. That's my soul, that's my soul. Won't you help me to catch it before it goes? That's my soul, that's my soul. And I need it now more than ever before. So don't let it fall, don't let it fall down this black hole. That's my soul, that's my soul. That's my soul, that's my soul. Won't you help me to catch it before it goes? That's my soul, that's my soul. And I need it now more than ever before. So don't let it fall, don't let it fall down this black hole. That's my soul, that's my soul, that's my soul, that's my soul.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically that was my lyric for the most part, and then we just kind of hammer it out with Paul and Lucy.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's nice going into a room with someone with like Lucy with a strong lyric, and she's she's a word master, isn't she?
Sure.
Yeah. And like you say, Paul is a real instrumental guy and recording guru. Yeah.
Yeah. So after when he did our, because at the end of the you do your little demo, your work tape.
Sure.
And because of these drugs that I'm on, I'm very emotional. I bawled like a baby.
Yeah, well, yeah, and rightly so. I mean,
Sure.
that's you need the catharsis, and that's what that's all about. Sometimes songwriting, it comes from a deep place. When when you start tunes, do you come at it from the lyric usually?
Come at it from every way, every angle. Most of the time, it is. I need something to bite into. A
Right,
good
yeah.
lyric. I usually want to try to write something that's not been written before, maybe, or not just, I love you, or I want you back, baby.
Find a different take on
A
it.
different take, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a different take most of the time. Sometimes, the band Radiohead, the premises, the songs just come out of the sky, and I kind of abide to that idea. And so, I just wrote a song called "The River." It's like,
Right.
I'm not going to write a song called "The River."
It's been done.
It's been done. Why? No,
I've already covered 3 of them called The River.
Garth Brooks did it. Bruce Springsteen did it. I'm sure 1,000 other people.
And Joni. Yeah.
Yeah, that was This River, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Can't remember
Yeah,
either, but that's a
Maybe it's
beautiful
just
song.
River, right?
Yeah,
Could be,
but so I wrote a song called "The River," and I've allowed myself to do that. You know what I mean? Like before, I would say, "No, we're not writing a song called "The River."
Yeah, yeah.
It's too, but yeah. So things like that with writing has changed.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like they say, there's no copyright on titles, so you
No.
can use
There's no
whatever.
copyright on A minor.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you do co-writing, are you usually in Zoom sessions, or do you get together much?
Zoom, Facebook Messenger.
No, yeah.
It seems to be a thing. It's Facebook Messenger and Gmail.
Yep.
Is a very strong.
Yeah.
I love it.
The Google Drive and the Google Docs and Gmail, it's been a
spectacular.
godsend for songwriters
Yeah.
that get into it, right?
It's the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're not co-writing and you're struggling, co-writing's the way to go.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about my co-writers is that the ego has left the building.
Right.
And,
yeah.
And that's a wonderful thing. The song is king, right?
I've
Isn't
been
that
in-
beautiful?
Yeah, it's great. And I've been in many situations where that hasn't happened yet, and they're still hanging on to the fact that we hang on to these lyrics or these chord changes that we feel we're so invested in, and they're so close to us that we feel we have some ownership, or that they should be always there.
Yeah.
And it's hard to let that go. Songwriters from Here and Away. My name is Robert Campbell. Please do look us up online. Just search out Songwriters from Here and Away. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And reach out. I've got a few things to give away, and anybody who contacts me, I will send them along to you. We're going to go back now to Dave Daoust, as he sometimes is known out in BC. He is traveling across the country, and here he is with his songs, and we'll have a few recorded songs at the end of the hour, too.
My kids were talking about, my wife and my daughter were talking about weighted blankets, blankets.
Right, yeah.
So you can feel the weight, and they
Right.
said, yeah, there's just something about that weight. Oh, bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
There's a title. You can't write it.
Yeah.
You give me a call, we'll write it. Anyway,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no,
just
I
bing, bing, bing.
totally know, yeah.
And then I started thinking about the idea, and I thought, I'm not sure how to write that. But anyway.
Somebody else might,
Somebody else. I'm
Yeah.
watching this podcast, Mike.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. But, yeah. Well, do you want to play some more tunes?
Well, I got a gospel song that I wrote, and this song comes from Amazing Grace. People sing Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And I thought, that's a heavy lyric, man. A wretch? Are you calling me a wretch? Oh, maybe they're right.
Yeah.
So this was kind of my response to that a little bit. And this was one of those songs that, a lot of times you start with the chorus on a song.
Yep.
Usually that works well in a co-write situation. This was a solo write, so this was one of those top to bottom songs that kind of fell out. And I'll play it in the key that I was going to, this key here. So I'll take it all in. I am a liar, I am a thief. That's what is buried deep underneath. But you embrace me in all my sin, in all my sin. It's hard to fathom your perfect love, yet you're my Father, I am your Son. I can hardly take it all in, take it all in. You are the Holy One. You are the sweetest song I have ever sung. You sacrificed your life. You took back the night brighter than the sun. It is finished, is what you said. I won't forget your last breath. Take it all in. No condemnation, no guilt or shame, just praise and glory for your precious name. I can hardly take it all in, take it all in. You are the Holy One. You are the sweetest song I have ever sung. You sacrificed your life. You took back the night brighter than the sun. It is finished, is what you said. I won't forget your last breath. Take it all in. Oh, breathe deep your peace. Take it all in. Oh, breathe deep your peace. Take it all in. I'll breathe deep, sweet release, take it all in. You are the Holy One. You are the sweetest song I have ever sung. You sacrificed your life. You took back the night brighter than the sun. It is finished, is what you said. I won't forget your last breath. Take it all in.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Take it all in. It seems like that's what you're doing on your trip across Canada, eh? Just breathe it all in.
Cross Canada, what was I calling it? First I was calling it Cross Canada Songwriting Challenge. That's what I was calling it. And then it became Cross Canada Cancer Crusade. And then I saw this young guy, you know, I feel like kind of a selfish jerk because I saw this young guy. He's walking across the country. Jackson, can't remember his last name. And he's raising funds for cancer.
Right.
He started in Newfoundland, and he's in Winnipeg now. And when I saw that, I went, oh, gee, maybe I should be doing that. But it's just more than I can handle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You have to, your energy needs to be for what you need to be for. Right?
Yeah. So this trip it's morphed from songwriting into people. Mm-hmm. It's become more than just, because people are more important than songs.
Yep.
And music. And, you know, as I drove, I thought, well, you know, why am I doing this? Wondering. And I thought, you know, I just want to be useful. I want to help people. Like, you know, anybody who's got issues, cancer, alcoholism. On this trip, I've spoken to people with cancer, and played that song, the
Right.
first song that we, and the room's all noisy and everything. By the time we get to the end of the song, it's quiet. And that's happened a few times with that first song.
Yeah.
And I talked to a young person who had tried to commit suicide and just trying to bring hope to their life.
Right.
And, so that's kind of part of what my focus is now is, and also the people that are following me on Facebook, I seem to be an inspiration. I'm not, that's not what I'm thinking about, but apparently I'm an inspiration to a lot of people, and they tell me all the time on Facebook. So,
well, it's like a song. If you tell the truth in your own voice and share it with honesty and some love, it will resonate.
Right.
And you find your audience. The audience finds you.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
And those that need to hear it will hear it. And therefore, that can be an inspiration as long as it's coming from that place where it's strong and real.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a very real trip, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. People have asked. We just came back from Germany a couple of weeks, and
Right.
people said, well, "What was your favorite part?" And we always it's always the people. We've toured a lot. You've played a lot. You've been around, and like you say, it's not about the places or the things that you see necessarily. It's about the people that you see or the experience of other people that you drink in, whether it's through. Being in the Cologne Cathedral the other day,
nice.
That took many centuries to build.
Right.
And you're in the presence of something immense and amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could think of was looking up and saying, who was the person that put in that stone 75 feet up that wall?
And how did they get there?
And what was their life like?
Yeah.
And that's the connection of people. And so when you travel and you say it's all about the people and giving back and finding ways to help, I'm totally on that, and I honor you for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want to have any other songs you coming to mind?
Well, we should probably play The River because
Sure.
Bruce Springsteen wants me to.
That's
Garth
right.
Brooks wants me to.
Yeah.
No, the song that fell out of the air. Something missing, but here comes the daylight. Good morning, sunshine. Let's all go where your mercy flows. Let's all go to the river. Let's go where there's grace to spare. Let's all go to the river. Ooh, 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 ooh. Our God is enough your darkness with love. And here comes the daylight. Good morning, sunshine. Let's all go where your mercy flows. Let's all go to the river. Let's go where there's grace to spare. Let's all go to the river. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's all go where your mercy flows. Let's all go to the river. Let's go where there's grace to spare. Let's all go to the river. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's all go. Let's all go. Let's all go to the river. Let's go where there's grace to spare. Let's all go to the river. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's all go where your mercy flows. Let's all go to the river.
Nice tune, man. It's a great
Simple tune.
simple tune, but it feels like a great sing-along tune.
Yeah,
A great
well,
choir tune, or you could
yeah.
put that in so many contexts, right?
Yeah. That's part of when I'm writing some of these songs. I'm thinking about people singing along.
Right.
You know, when I'm leading worship at a church, I'm not like there saying, look at me, I'm leading, listen to me sing. I'm like, I will actually say to them, I want you to sing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll just pull away from the mic and say, it's your turn to sing now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's what it's part about. It's about us. We're a community and we're together and we're singing. And it's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
As opposed to me, here, look at me. You know, it's just not what I'm about.
That's for sure the number one thing. If you can build that community, whether you're in church, or whether you're doing, like we did a lot of house concerts.
Sure.
And it was always building the community for that moment in the room.
Right.
And
nice.
That connection is huge. It makes all the difference in the world. And you've alluded to it earlier about singing a song for someone or that person talking to you or connecting with that particular song because of something you said in it that means something to them. And
right.
And that's for me, and probably for you, the strongest joy you get out of sharing a song is when that happens.
Yeah, that when the penny drops, so to speak. Yeah, I like we talked about before. It's just coming from a deeper spot now, and you know, I just feel like there's so much more to come.
Great.
I feel like I got a lot left in me and a lot left to say, and a lot of people that I want to talk to. You know. And when I get back home, there's people that I want to see. They're waiting to see me, too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I've got so many messages. Dave, let's have coffee. And I'm thinking, oh, geez, I'm going to be coffeeed out by the time I...
Yeah. That's why you switched to green tea.
I'm on green tea for the antioxidant.
Yeah. What? So when did you start writing? I mean, when you were a kid, or
no? You know, I'm one of those. Like as a young man, I had quite a drinking problem. And that just took up my time. You know, I was busy. I was busy being an idiot, basically, you know. So as a young man, I wanted to do music, but I was always the inappropriate drunk guy singing, you know, somewhere where you shouldn't be. Right. One of my favorites was an old Stray Cats song, I Won't Stand in Your Way. You know, real crooner, 50s style thing. But... I quit drinking. And, life starts to become more in focus after that because that was my preoccupation.
Right.
And then one day, I was there in my earlier 20s.
And you were already playing guitar and stuff at this point? No,
I'd not touched a guitar. I tried, but it was I couldn't.
Foreign object.
I couldn't focus on it. But I was 26 years old, I think, 25, 26. And the funny thing is, I just woke up one morning, shot out of bed, and sat on the end of the bed and went, I'm going to learn to play the guitar. Like, okay.
Well, off you went.
No internet. The library. I went to the library. I took a couple of beginning songwriting courses, or not, the guitar courses, and kind of started writing right away because of the catharsis.
Right.
A lot of early songwriters are writing cathartic songs, and I was no different. So, I started writing right away. Just terrible songs, but true to what I was doing at the time.
If it's any consolation, I'm still writing terrible songs, but I still try to just write them and get them out of the way.
Yeah.
Songwriters from Here and Away. My name's Robert Campbell. We have a YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook. We would love to hear from you there. Please do connect and follow, like, share, and do all that online kind of stuff. It really helps the show, and it helps the artists in particular. So please go check out their tunes and buy them from whatever platform they can sell them on. Now back to Dave Daoust and some live and recorded songs.
So I had written, lots of songs and solo writes, all. No co-writing whatsoever. And I'd play with my friends. That's a great song, Dave. Let's record it. And they'd have Cubase. Back in the day, it was Cubase, I think. Or Cakewalk. Cakewalk, which became Cubase, I think. Anyway, let's do it. Let me record you. And, it's well-meaning friends, and they would never get recorded. You know what I mean? Anyway, I found a guy in the Georgia Strait. So I go out to his place, and I have a song that I'd written called Bobby Orr. And so we record it. Well, this guy knows Bobby Orr. Plays golf with him sometimes. His dad used to play softball with Bobby Orr back in the day in the 70s. Up in
Go figure,
Halliburton or something.
Yeah.
This is one of those serendipity things.
Yeah.
And his name is Dan Swiminer. Well, Dan Swiminer has become a country music giant. And I know he doesn't want me to say that because we're buds, right?
Yeah.
He's a fan of mine. He's, Dave, when are you going to put out new music? I love your new song, da-da-da. He's a fan,
Great.
But he's my friend, and I just appreciate him so much. So we started out. He was brand new at recording. I was newish at recording. I'd recorded some. And, we just kind of grew up together and made a great record with Dan.
Right.
And Dan has become a sought-after producer for sure. But we started out like we are here in a little room, me chugging away on a guitar and over and over and over. And so, we kind of grew up in music. He kind of went on much more than I did. But
so it was like 20, 30 years ago or kind of
it was about 2008, 2007 is when.
Okay,
So
So do you have any tunes that you still play from that early time? Or do you have
well, I've got the Bobby Orr song.
Yeah.
That song actually won me a spot in the country music Canadian Country Music Awards show a few years back.
Oh, cool.
And there's nothing more nerve-wracking than playing your song in front of 400 songwriters.
You figure?
Yeah. So that was, I played that song there. Sometimes when the lights grow dim, I go back to that time again, and I remember you. It was back in 71. Radio played She's Come Undone, and I remember you. And I remember Bobby Orr. Everybody say shoots, he scores, and I you. The man in the moon, the newlywed game. The more the things change, the more they stay the same. And I remember you. There was war, there was peace. Some of us still had grease in our hair. In our hair, yeah, 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 yeah. I remember Bobby Orr. Everybody say he shoots, he scores. And I remember you. I remember Bobby Orr. Everybody say he shoots, he scores. And I remember you. I was there to see you dance, to touch your hair. How about that mini skirt, the beads and braids and the tie-dyed shirt? And I remember you. And I remember Bobby Orr. Everybody say he shoots, he scores. And I remember you. I remember Bobby Orr. Everybody say he shoots, he scores. And I remember you. I remember you. Yeah, fun.
I like the juxtaposition of setting the time and place and remembering the idea of remembering a person or remembering Bobby Orr.
Yeah. So it wasn't a song about Bobby Orr, but he ended up using it, or they, whoever they are, those people, they used it on his. He played for the Oshawa Generals,
right?
And he's such a humble guy that he didn't want his jersey retired. He just didn't want to do it. So, but years and years later, they convinced him. I think for charitable reasons.
Right.
Anyway, they used it there for his retirement ceremony. And I believe it's been played at, what do they call that? On New Year's Day, they play the outdoor game.
Oh, right.
Anyway, Boston was playing Philadelphia, and they played at the stadium.
Sure, yeah.
So anyway, it was a fun kind of career-building song, a little songwriting. I got recognition in the songwriting. Yeah, so...
Well, I've heard it before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
And so as you started going through it, I thought, I've heard this before, you know?
Yeah.
But excellent. So you've recorded a couple of albums and EPs and singles and stuff. What's in your arsenal of online?
Well, everything's online except for one album, which I don't really like very much.
Oh, well, then we'll leave it in the can.
I think it's on my website, maybe. Yeah. I'm one of these people that doesn't update his website.
Okay.
And I've got my album that I did with Dan Swiminer, and that was when I was with a band. It's called Dave Stanley Band. My middle name is Stanley, so Daoust is Daoust or whatever.
Yep.
So we shortened it to stage name Dave Stanley Band, and I had that band for 10, 15 years.
Right.
In two incarnations, but anyway, so I have that Dave Stanley Band, and we used to play songs live from that, 4 or 5 of them.
What's your website address?
DaveStanleyBand.com.
DaveStanleyBand.com.
I just never bothered to change it. I recorded another EP with Dan Swiminer. Dan just kind of said, Dave, it's time we did another album.
Right.
I'm like, okay, Dan. And in that album is probably one of the songs that I'm most proud of. We'll probably just put the track up. It's called Rolly Coombe. And Rolly Coombe was my uncle. And he was the bachelor uncle. And so my mom had 8 kids. And so we didn't, back in the day, we didn't have much. We were poor. We were poor. And he was the uncle who would take me to the P&E or buy you a bike or those sorts of things. Yeah. Anyway, but Uncle Rolly had problems blood clots in the brains, and he was a serious alcoholic, like
That'll slow you down.
like a serious, like, you know,
a quart a day
doing the chicken sort of alcoholic.
Yep.
I saw him do the chicken a few times. Anyway, Mary, oh my goodness, Mary Gauthier.
Yeah.
I was at songwriting camp with Mary Gauthier, and she wrote a song about a hobo, the Hobo King or something, her song. I got an uncle who's kind of a hobo. I should write it. Anyway, it turned into kind of a, as my friend calls it, a musical epitaph for Rolly Coombe.
Yeah. Well, let's spin Rolly Coombe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a song that's close to my heart. Type 2.
Late Sunday night, John Doe, blank tag on his right toe. I told them you could write his name, Rolly Coombe. Born on cold prairie ground, depression coming round. 16 kids kept in line, a widow wooden spoon. He liked to have a drink or two. Couldn't blame him what he's been through. Yeah, it's 15-2, 15-4. Best grid player in 64. 15-2, 15-4. Funny how life keeps the score. Some people check out too soon, and I miss you, Rolly Coombe. Bought me my first bike, cherry red Super Glide. Hung on for dear life as it taught me to ride. He liked to have a drink or two. Couldn't blame him what he'd been through. Yeah, it's 15-2, 15-4. Best grid player in 64. 15-2, 15-4. Funny how life keeps the score. Some people check out too soon, and I miss you. Yeah, Rolly Coombe. Scattered his ashes on the mighty Fraser. Said goodbye with a few tall boys and a whiskey chaser. And it's 15-2, 15-4. Best grid player in 64. 15-2, 15-4. Funny how life keeps the score. Some people check out too soon, and I miss you. Hey, Rolly Coombe.
So where's the best place to find your tracks? I mean, they must be on Spotify
yeah.
or iTunes and on your website.
Yeah, everything's on Spotify, YouTube. Sometimes I forget to upload a song to YouTube, but most of the time they're there. Yeah. Sometimes I'll do a lyric video, and sometimes I'm too lazy to do a lyric video.
So is there anything else you want to say?
Follow me on Facebook. I have been filming my journey for the most part.
Right.
I just did a week with my family. I didn't film any of that, really. I've did some live streams from Peggy's Cove. And
I saw that,
and I've got people sending me notes. Dave, I love your updates. Keep doing them. Yeah. Don't stop. So, okay. So, anyway, you can find me on Facebook, Dave Stanley Dow. And I put them up on YouTube. I don't get as many views on YouTube as I do on Facebook.
Yeah,
follow me along. And like I say at the end of every video, usually I'll say, hey, be good to each other.
Yes. So that's Dave Stanley Dow, but Daoust. Yeah.
Right on.
Well, Dave, thank you for sharing, and God bless you on your journey, man.
Thanks, brother.
It's a brave thing to be doing and sharing the truth that you have to share, because, a lot of men need to hear this.
Indeed.
I think we need to be aware of that fact,
Yeah. If you're out there and you're suffering, I want to talk to you. I'll come to your house. I'll play music, or we'll just talk, or we'll just have tea. Anywhere in Canada, to a degree. I'm not going to the territories, but I'll fly up there. Yeah. I'll fly up there.
I've been to Yellowknife. Yeah. Good for you. Well, thanks. And maybe we'll have one more tune to play out. Do you have another song we would play out with?
I have one that's kind of I played it at my daughter's wedding, and it's just about my relationship. It's got a funny title. When Sam was 6 and you were 4. So you is my daughter Stephanie,
and Sam is
my son, and it's
brother.
just about. Yeah. It's one of my first, not my first, but one of my first forays into trying to write more, put pictures in songs and stuff.
There's felt pen markers on the wall to show how tall you were when Sam was 6 and you were 4. There's white tape borders on the floor, Lego here and Barbies there when Sam was 6 and you were 4. It's all been torn down for several years now. We had the time of our lives, you and I, and who could ask for more when Sam was 6 and you were 4. Drive-through window, and you would gladly serve me takeout. There's a swing set and a slide, a little green wagon that would tip when we would ride. It's all been torn down for several years now. We had the time of our lives, you and I, and who could ask for more when Sam was 6 and you were 4. But it's our love that makes us whole. it's all been torn down for several years now. We had the time of our lives, you and I, and who could ask for more? When Sam was 6 and you were 4.
Thanks for listening to Songwriters from Here and Away. We'll see you next time. Please share it up and take care.